As a new business, we always need money. So how do we go to a bank, or to who do we get some loan or a help in our new venture? Where do we start? Where do we go?
So this would
We
be a
don't
great
have-
question for Mayor. So I'd let Mayor answer that.
Well, generally speaking, from a banking perspective, every bank is expecting people to invest their own money before anything. The bank is not looking to be the startup capital. So I don't think startups should be necessarily looking to banks for financing, because it's not what banks do. Banks generally lend people money who don't need it. I mean, it's a famous thing. So the answer to your question, I would say, is number one, you have to invest some of your own funds, obviously. And then you have what we call the angel network, people, either family or friends, that believe in you, believe in your concept, and you start that way. And then you slowly bring it up. Now, this is not going to be an advertisement, but I met the gentleman here earlier. His name is Shlomo Haft, and he put out some cards here. And there's something called the Hebrew Free Loan Society, and they do Shlomo, this wasn't a setup even. You didn't
Is it like a gemach?
It's a gemach, exactly. So they lend, I think you said, up to $25,000 for startup money. So that's something you should look into. And there are other organizations like this available. I know over the years they're SBA loans, but I think that this question might be a little before the SBA, and SBA is a little further.
Sephardic Angel Fund. And there's also a website called Kickstarter.com, if anybody ever didn't hear of it, and they're starting a business. Sometimes you can go there and you can raise, I don't know if it's 10,000 or 25,000.
I think that, and Rabbi Wordy...
Kickstarter.com.
Kickstarter.com. Rabbi Wordy, I think that one of the things I was thinking is that you'll make available on the website after these events maybe a resource list of things we've discussed, so people can go to the website and then, follow up on these things.
There's another non-conventional way called peer-to-peer lending that I found online. It's called lendingclub.com. So it's not, people, you have a good story, you write it up there, and everybody lends $25, and before you know it, it's $25,000, and they check your credit, they see if, you're legit, and you don't have to go through a bank or anything. It's pretty interesting.
Sure. Just gentlemen excluded. For women, there's actually government agencies will give women-owned businesses grants and loans. So if you're a woman, there are a lot of resources for you to take advantage of.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so next question. Who has the microphone? Do you want to do a text question or do you want to do a live question?
I have one question that somebody texted. How do you deal with partners that are not coughing up the goods?
How do you deal with partners that are not coughing up the goods? Zevi, do you want to answer that one?
All right. Let me just mention something, and just to be candid and straightforward. If you are not upfront with your partner, and your partner is not upfront with you from the get-go, and you're not 100% comfortable spilling all the beans, don't be in a partnership. A partnership is a relationship that needs to be very, very transparent. It's a person that you're going to be working with, whether even if it's a financing partner. It's somebody that you have to be very straightforward with. And I would definitely say that if somebody's having some sort of conflict and one of the partners is not following the rules of the game, address it and deal with it immediately. It'll only get worse.
Thank you. Thank you. And we actually have one of the mentors is an attorney, so you could speak to Rabbi Wordy, and he can hook you up with one of those mentors is a business attorney, and he's actually here tonight. So if you want, you can speak to Rabbi Wordy, and he'll introduce you to them. Okay, so next question.
Why does society feel that they need a high school diploma in order to get anywhere in life?
Ooh, interesting question. It's an education question. Why does it feel?
What is society?
Why does society feel like you have to have a high school diploma in order to get anywhere in life? So if it's an education question, you want to get it, Jack? Go ahead.
I'll address that. As somebody who went to high school, one of the things that you learn in high school, or there's several things. There's certain disciplines. You learn math, you learn science, you learn history, you learn geography, you learn a lot of things. But a high school diploma, what it gives you, what it means is that you have hopefully learned certain fundamentals, certain building blocks that are going to be useful for no matter what you do in life. no matter what you do in business, you're always going to need math skills, whether it's adding or subtracting or multiplying or more advanced math. Certainly in banking, I would imagine you have a lot more math than that. But you know, the high school diploma simply means that you, at this point, have this knowledge and these skills learned. And the reason why society as a whole requires it is because it's a lot easier than asking if you know it. It simply shows the person asking the question or looking at your diploma that you have these skills.
It's like an official certification.
It's an official certification, but it's useful. Everybody should have at least the equivalency of a high school diploma if you plan on being in business, which is the GED, the general...
Mayor, do you have anything to add specifically
exactly.
with regard to people that are going to Alatira or other places that don't necessarily include that?
I think that I think Jack's right on target on this one. That a graduation, a certificate, whether it's a high school certificate, a college certificate, I as an employer, it doesn't really tell me where you're going, but it tells me where you came from. You went through the courses. You had the ability to sit through the regimen. So I know that tells me not again where you're going to go, but it tells me that you have what it takes.
It shows a little stability.
It
who
shows
you are as a
exactly, and whether or not it's a high school, or whether or not we've myself and many others have gone through Alei Torah. We've gone through Sidarim. We've gotten up in the morning to Shir Sidis. We've gone through Nigla. We've gone through the Sidarim. We've gone through all of the things that we needed to do. So that tells you. And it tells society, and it tells potential employers or potential people that you work with that you come from somewhere. You have a tradition.
And you should know that many of the greatest entrepreneurs that are on the Forbes list of the greatest entrepreneurs, like Steve Jobs, dropped out of school. So you can get somewhere in life without necessarily having a traditional education, because experience is usually one of the greatest educations.
You need the basics.
But you definitely need the basics. You need to know basic math, basic spelling. If you're sending somebody an email or something that's completely unprofessional with short code, it's really not going to get you anywhere in life. You really have to learn the basics. So that's very, very, very important. Thank you very much. Okay, so next question.
How can someone see whether or not they're meant to be an owner or a worker? And if a worker, what would be the way to learn from this panel to be most effective?
Very, very interesting. Okay. So, Zevi, do you want to get that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll address that. I would say that there is no difference between an owner and a worker.
There you
A worker that works like an owner becomes an owner. And we've seen it in our organization. The people that are passionate and are involved and act like an owner get status and get treated and compensated like owners. And vice versa. When you are involved in your business, in whether you're an employee, whether you're the owner, you gain knowledge. You gain a tremendous amount of information, and that will help you later on down the road if you decide to go out on your own, or there is other opportunities that will present itself. So owner and employee, those are decisions based on your passion and your involvement in an organization.
Thank you. That was a really, really great answer. Okay, question from the ladies section. We had a question over there before,
Hi, yeah.
and then we'll get to you.
My question's not as far as education, business plan. How important should you launch your business and then do a business plan, or do you need to have your business plan and then start your business?
And what would be the purpose of the business plan?
Well, it's supposed to give you focus. It has your goals and your direction, because the biggest problem people have with starting a business is they start and they don't know where they're going with it, or they don't know where they want to take it. Am I going to just do books, or am I going to do books and yarmulkes, kind of thing like that? So that a business plan would gives you the chance to think about it.
So how important is a business plan before you launch your business? Did any of you launch a business plan before? Jack, did you have a business plan before Jack's Gourmet?
Well, there's a couple things to it. First of all, when you're launching a business, you have all these wonderful ideas. The easiest way to sort through it, the most efficient way to sort through it, is to actually get it on paper. That is, in essence, a business plan. It's the foundation, the building blocks of a business plan. First of all, getting financing for your business without a business plan is almost impossible, because everybody wants to see what they're investing in. They want to see what your plan is. So a business plan, what it simply does is put all your thoughts onto paper. It allows you to organize it, and then you could go back to it. You could tweak it. Everything you're doing, and this is something you're going to be doing even once you have your business. You're always going to be creating business plans of sorts and tweaking the numbers and the different things, and it's always a place that you could go back to and just have it. When there's a million thoughts going through your mind, you could you could see it on paper, written down the way you intended.
A business plan is something that needs to continuously change as your business changes. We were going to get into flexibility, but we didn't get in there. Mayor, did you have a business plan when you started Eichler's 36 years ago?
I probably had a piece of paper with some notes on it, but I don't think I actually had a formal, if I'm understanding the question, I think you're talking in a very formal sense. I think you shouldn't spend an immense time on it. I think you should really think it through, but it's not something that needs months and months of work before you're going to actually do it. You need something that you can work on a couple of days. Know what you want to do, and then, like Yossi just alluded to, it's an evolving document, and it's going to evolve for the rest of the life of the business.
And Zevi wants to add something quickly.
One of the fascinating things about a business plan that I found is that the topics that exist in a business plan are things that you have to be well versed in. Competitive landscape, financial analysis, those are areas that you have to constantly be on top of. You have to know where your business stands in its marketplace. So I think it's like Mayor said, don't spend a tremendous amount of time, but rather identify how you are connected to each one of those topics consistently.
One of the things that we like to do in our business is set goals. These are the things that we're going to accomplish this month, this quarter, this year, and that kind of can guide you to know where you're going, and that can always change as well. Lady here says that she came from Israel, she wants to open up a business, and she heard all the suggestions, but what actionable suggestions do you have for her that she can actually do? What are the action items when you leave this event? Is it the mentors? Is it something else? And Mayor, maybe you can address that.
A business coach?
Or a business coach or something. Do we have any mentor business coaches? I don't know.
I
Maybe
think that the first action that to answer your particular question would be to find out what resources are available from CHYE's mentor program. Find somebody in the mentor program that is, in the same type of, is looking for the same goals that you are, or that has experience in that. I think that's your first action point, and then you will move on to your next one.
Just final words from the panelists. I'm going to let Mayor go first.
The thought that I would like to leave everybody here with this evening is, over the years, I've had the opportunity to meet with many, many people and discuss their business ideas and listen to them. And I'm seeing the same pattern here. Trust yourself. You guys should know what you feel, and what you know, you really know. You know better than anybody else. You can come and talk to me all day long. I'm just going to lead you to discover more of the things that you know about yourself. Trust yourself, follow your passion, and you will be matzliach ad bli dai.
Thank you very much. And Jack, you have any final comments? 30 seconds, please.
It was just a real pleasure to be here. I just want to leave you with one little thing, and that is take a risk. Don't be afraid to take risks. It's the only way that you'll have payoffs of any kind. The bigger the risk, they say the bigger the payoff, but obviously depending on where you are in life, you can take a bigger or a smaller risk, but don't be afraid to at least do it. Plunge in, and see if you hopefully float.
Thank you very much. Zevi, any final words?
Yep. I just want to add, you have to be in it to win it. You have to be involved in it. You have to be engrossed in it. Educate yourself about it, and then you'll win it.
Thank you very much. A big round of applause for the panelists. CHYE.